Have you ever wondered about the very first story, the one that started it all? Let's travel back in time to a place of perfect beauty, the Garden of Eden. Imagine a world untouched by worries, where everything was lush, vibrant, and alive. In this paradise lived the first man and woman. Adam and Eve, they had everything they could ever want. They walked with God in the cool of the day, surrounded by breathtaking nature and gentle animals. Life was simple. It was good. God gave them just one rule. A single instruction to follow in this vast garden of freedom, he said. You can eat from any tree in the garden, enjoy all the fruits, all the bounty I've provided. But there's one tree, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, that you must not eat from. The day you eat its fruit, you will surely face consequences. It was a simple test of trust and obedience in a world filled with abundance. For a while, Adam and Eve lived in this perfect harmony, respecting the one boundary God had set. They had no reason to question it. Their lives were complete. But then, something new entered the garden. A serpent, described as more crafty than any of the other wild animals. This wasn't just any talking snake. It represented a voice of doubt and deception. It approached Eve, not with a direct command, but with a subtle, questioning whisper. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? See what it did there? It twisted God's generous words into a harsh restriction, planting a tiny seed of doubt. I've corrected the serpent, explaining they could eat from any tree except for that one. Because God had warned them of the grave outcome. She knew the rule. The serpent then played it. Master stroke. It directly contradicted God. You will not surely die, it hissed. For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. This was the ultimate temptation. The promise of secret knowledge, of power, of being more than they were created to be. The serpent made God seem like a gatekeeper, holding back something wonderful from them. It painted a picture of limitation, not protection. Eve looked at the tree again. The fruit suddenly seemed so desirable, good for food and pleasing to the eye, and the promise of gaining wisdom was irresistible. The seed of doubt had sprouted into full-blown desire in that moment of choice. Eve took the fruit and ate it. The allure of the forbidden was too strong to resist, but she didn't stop there. She gave some to her husband, Adam, who was with her, and he ate it too. He wasn't deceived in the same way, but he chose to go along with her in that single act of disobedience. Everything changed. Their eyes were indeed opened, but not to the divine wisdom they were promised. Instead, they saw their own vulnerability, their nakedness. For the first time, they felt shame and fear. They scrambled to cover themselves with fig leaves, a flimsy attempt to hide from their new reality. When they heard the sound of God walking in the garden, they didn't run to greet him as they used to. They knew that the close relationship they once cherished was now broken by fear. God called out, "Where are you?" Not because he didn't know, but because he was giving them a chance to confess. Adam blamed Eve, and Eve blamed the serpent. No one took responsibility. The consequences were swift. The serpent was cursed, and Adam and Eve faced a new reality of hardship, pain, and eventual physical death. They were banished from the Garden of Eden, a paradise lost, but the way back guarded by an angel. This story isn't just about a piece of fruit. It's about trust, obedience, the nature of temptation, and the profound consequences of our choices. It's a foundational story that echoes through human history, reminding us of a paradise lost, but also setting the stage for a promise of redemption to come. Thank you for joining me on this journey back to the beginning. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that have shaped our world. See you next time.